and it's time for another episode of What's That Button For on my calculator. We're fixing to look at this button right here above the sign, inverse sign, where it says num-solv. You use this to solve equations, linear equations. And here's our first example, 2x plus 5 equals 135. I realize that's a really simple equation, but just bear with me. Let's look at the process before we get to some harder problems. You're going to hit the second num-solv button. Now you see you have a block and an equals and a block. Enter the equation to solve. So let's just put 2x. Remember this button right here with the x, y, z, t, a, b, c, d. If you push it once, you get the x. So now we have plus 5. And then we're going to use our scroll button to get to the other side of the equal sign. I'm going to push in the 135. Hit enter. Okay, right here, you're going to have to hit enter one more time and one more time. Okay, and sometimes, depending on the difficulty of the equation, it takes a second. All right, so right here, we see that x is equal to 65, the answer to your equation. Okay, so let's try one that's a little bit harder. Let's go right down here to this equation that has a variable on each side, and once again we're going to go over to quit, hit enter, and then I'm going to clear everything out. Alright, now here's your equation. 4x minus 9 equals 6x minus 15. So let's do second num-solv. We're just going to push 4x minus 9. Alright, then we're going to scroll past the equals and do 6x minus 15. Okay. I'm going to hit enter, enter, enter. Give it a second, and it tells me that x is equal to 3. So, that was a pretty good time saver. Now let's look at something a lot more intense. This equation says log base 2 of x plus 2 is equal to 3. You can actually use the same button. This is an equation. Now we are going to have another button that we haven't gone over yet, so pay attention to this. Let's get over here to quit, enter, clear the whole memory out, and let's look. First, you need to get into your equation solver mode. So we're going to hit second num-solv. Now the first thing I need to enter is a log base 2. You have on your calculator this button right here, the ln, which is natural log, and the log. That's going to give you a natural log, and it's going to give you a log base 10. Well, I have a log base 2. A lot of calculators do not have a way for you to enter a log with a different base, but this one does. It's just not so easy to find. A lot of times you have to convert. Well, you don't have to here. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to hit this button. If you just watch, the first time gives you ln, the second time gives you log. If you hit it one more time, even though it's not showing that on the button, if you hit it one more time, you get a space to put a log with another base. Alright, so now we're going to enter the 2. Then we're going to scroll over to we're inside that set of parentheses and put x plus 2. We already have our closed parenthesis, so we're going to go to the other side of the equal sign and press 3. Now we're going to enter that, enter, and enter. Now hang on, because it does take a minute on these more difficult problems. Right there it says x is equal to 6. And that's the answer to your logarithm problem. Okay? If you have some definite problems you're having difficulty with and you want me to show you how to use the calculator for them, just drop me a comment in the section below. And I'll be back later with another interesting button on the Ti-36x Pro.